by Chinese sources, which were actually pretty decent, even though I'm considered to be not necessarily complicit with the regime, are saying, listen, we're keep this one in China. This money is owed by Chinese companies. The debt is Chinese companies. We're not going to have this be contagion. We're going to let this thing, there's a moral hazard issue, but they're going to make it so that this does not disrupt the world. However, it is going to cause a step down in growth. And so, therefore, those who want to just, cover and buy Freeport and, Caterpillar, good luck. You have to be in, and you have to be in then out. But this was the word that they put out last night. And a lot of what they put out was basically, we hear what's going on in the U.S. media, and we want people to know the contagion stops at our borders. And, David, in a command economy, they can do that. However, I think this was Xi's first big mistake.
You do? Why?
Well, because this is a much bigger market than he's taken on versus gaming and education afterwards.
I mean, the property or real estate
25% of the economy.
Yep.
So, you got a lot of people who are out a lot of money. And he has to try to figure out how to make it so that they don't get too upset because he doesn't. I mean, look, he's not dictator for life yet.
No, I think 22 is
exactly.
when it kind of becomes more official, right? It's the next. It's the next.
There's
Congress,
risk.
Next part of
there's risk.
Yeah.
And this was an idea to make it so everybody's equal, common prosperity, but it may not have worked the way that she wanted. So this is his first mistake. I think this is his first mistake.
So he hasn't made any mistakes until now?
No.
It's a pretty good track record.
In terms of trying to make people feel that they're equal. Mm-hmm. But this one is a backfire.
We'll see.
Well, we'll see what.
It's kind of early.
Well,
past judgment.
Well, this thing's going to may default this week.
Yeah, I know, but it's not, if it's not contagion, then
I'm just saying that,
as you say, they're going to.
The not contagion is making it so that those who sold our banks, which I said were wrong, are going to regret that they sold our banks. You sold J.P. Morgan on this? I'm not saying Jamie Dimon was laughing all the way to the bank because he happens to be the bank, but it was. His stock shouldn't have been sold.
That was sort of B of A's point this morning. The exposure of U.S. banks to Chinese property compared to capital or assets is very small.
Yeah, this Lehman Minsky, people like to mention Minsky. I remember there was like a great movie about him. I'm tired of that. The fact is that it's a Lehman moment for no one because it's a command economy. And I don't seem to I think people still continue to believe that somehow the Chinese communists are like us. I mean, look, the only way they're like us that I can see is that they don't want COVID at the Olympics. And so how big is the lockdown going to be? Why are you, looking at me like I don't know? I have worked since 3:30 on this.
I don't doubt it. I know that you work harder than anybody I know.
Well, that's the point, including those clowns that I'm now attacking in the mentions. I'm no longer tolerating it because they're so darn stupid. They remind me they're like Jet fans meet Atlanta Falcon fans. Sorry, it ain't coming together. Diamond, whatever. 3 diamonds. That's tuna.
All that being said about
What?
China, which we do talk about a great deal as we need to, don't push aside what he has been trying to sort of engineer, and the Journal had a very long, interesting story about it today, sort of a new form of socialism that essentially takes the capital down in terms of its significance in the economy,
yes,
right?
But I think
and the capitalists.
But
so
when
to
you
speak.
take the property segment is a little too big there. So he may have misjudged in terms of how much he could hurt lots of people.
Okay. So bottom line it for me then. What does it really mean for the Chinese economy, and what does it actually mean
slow down in the Chinese economy, and if you sold our banks off of that, you are living in a different era, which is kind of like, this is, again, where your cerebellum is disengaged from the rest of your body, or you're engaged in a Jack Nicholson-like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Net analysis, and I think that you're probably not sound of mind.
Got it. Chief, that's... He was
Washington
great.
team.
No, I know, but the great character from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Really fantastic character.